Up a lake with the punt, bathed off the bank, then pushed out into the stream and drifted. She lay stretched out on the floorboards with her hands under her head.
The inevitable gradual erosion of all comforts. That's the theme of Krapp's last tape. The appallingly named anti-hero listens in despair to himself when he was 40 instead of ancient. Here's some well-fed college kids in LA. You'd think nihilism of the Beckett kind would be unmarketable here. But actually, they're in the first days of rehearsal for Waiting for Godot, the play that made Beckett famous.
What was I saying?
Bags. Why? Always hold, never put down. Why?
Now have more fun with this when you talk about
Rick Cluchey, an old Beckett interpreter, was introduced to Godot in 1957 when the San Francisco Actors Workshop turned up at San Quentin Prison to perform it. Cluchey was in there serving a life sentence for armed robbery.
So the question is, how do we make it interesting for the audience?
He put on his own stagings of Beckett in prison and was eventually paroled, met Beckett in 1974 and was invited to become his production assistant.
Before you get back to make the final point, and we lose the joke.
Has always had a tremendous fascination with prisons, and that the fact that I suppose that a lot of his plays are about people in prisons, metaphoric prisons, yes, people in cages, people in darkness, as it were.
Some exceptions for reasons unknown, but time will tell.
In the 50s, I recall reading the work and seeing the work in the prison and being a part of it offered to me a look at my own soul.
Yeah.
And I think prisoners in general don't find Beckett bleak, but find him real.
Right, realistic.
Yes, indeed.
Well, a lot of what is thought to be nihilism is realism, really, one finds.
Mm-hmm.
There's a sort of realism about what things really are and telling the truth as it really is, as opposed to falsities. And when you take away the falsities, people don't like that, and as you say, it hurts.
Yeah, the comfort zone is gone.
Yes, yeah, and he certainly is the great master of that.
The comfort zone for Beckett was memory, but it was also the despair zone. Memory is your own play in your own head, starring you, where you restage everything so you come out okay.
I noticed a scratch on her thigh and asked her how she came by it. "Picking gooseberries," she said. I said again I thought it was hopeless and no good going on, and she agreed without opening her eyes.
Beckett died in 1989. He kept up his style of minimalist grey desperation, of the dreadfulness of existence, from the 1950s pretty much to his death. This scene is from Ghost Trio from 1975, just agony and silence. Because Beckett has a kind of universal theme of every man's inevitable ageing and passing, with the illusions of youth giving way to the bitter reality of suffering existence, the anonymous, ancient protagonist here is easily identifiable as not just Beckett, but everyone. This is it, our lot. Nothingness and blankness is all we're going to get.
He wants to unveil something.
Yeah.
He wants to get behind the mask. He wants the curtain to open on this vista of our human suffering. And that the courage it takes for man, if man can see the point of his suffering. I mean, this is the existential premise of it all.
Just been listening to that stupid bastard I took myself for 30 years ago.
With Beckett, he sees the utter reality of the meaninglessness of everything, but, well, he loves language. He rejects overblown language, not language as such. With him, the richness of the words is matched by the ever more multitudinous layers of despair that the words describe.
Here I end this reel. Box 3, spool 5. Perhaps my best years are gone, when there was still a chance of happiness. But I wouldn't want them back, not with the fire in me now. No, I wouldn't.